Yeah, hand sanitizer. Woo. Need me some of that. Put it right on my skin. Rub it all over. Don't forget, there's bacteria on the back of your hands. Oh no, I've killed all of the bacteria on my hands. Guess what? We're going to start looking at microorganisms, like stuff you can't even see with your eyeball and glasses. You literally need a microscope that's super, super powerful. There's some really cool pictures out there and images that you can see of microorganisms if you're interested, and you're going to see some today. All right. Yeah, we have 3 notebook pages, but lesson today is super interesting. All right. So our learning target for page 94, please highlight it. This is a new unit, is I can describe bacteria as a microorganism important to life on Earth. So we have to have these microorganisms in order to have life on Earth. Key term here, bacteria. Say it with me, bacteria. Bacteria is really a single-celled organism. Okay, so we're not talking about a complex organism. We're just talking about an organism that is one cell, okay? And remember, we used bacteria as an organism that reproduces using binary fission, which means it just like breaks off a part of it, breaks in half, and then it has a new one, a clone. So now we're going to use this term, microorganism. Say it with me, microorganism. It is an organism so small that it's invisible to the naked eye. So I want you to draw a diagram of bacteria and label the flagellum. Flagellum, cool term. Say it with me, flagellum, cell wall, cell membrane, ribosome, cytoplasm, and genetic material. What's cool about the bacteria that we're going to look at is that it doesn't have a nucleus. Everything's just like floating around in one giant puddle. That's microscopic. All right, flagellum. Say it with me. Flagellum. It's a structure that helps a cell move by spinning like a propeller. This is how bacteria get from one place to another. If they don't have a flagellum, they kind of just drift in the water, or the wind moves them, or they attach to an organism like fur or skin and kind of hang on for the ride. All right, so bacteria can be found in a lot of places, but I want you to list 5 places that you can actually find bacteria. And then as you look at bacteria and read about it, you'll find out that they have 3 basic shapes. One is this round kind of shape. One is this rod-like kind of shape, and one is kind of like a spiral shape, and you'll see pictures of those as you go. All right, page 95. Woohoo! Lab, 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 lab. I know you like a good lab. So for this lab, you'll either need like a lot of small somethings, like, I don't know, a cup of rice, that might help. Or you can use a piece of paper, and one piece of paper would represent a bacteria. So like if I have one piece of paper, let me take one. One piece of paper represents the first bacteria it reproduces. And now you have first generation, but 2 bacteria. And then you can take these and rip them in half, and now you have another generation of bacteria. And then these all split and you have another generation of bacteria. One of the cool things I want you to know about bacteria is that they can grow really fast. The populations of bacteria can grow really fast. So that's why, like, if you're like, I think I'm coming down with a cold, or I think I'm coming down with a sore throat, and then like all of a sudden, boom, you're like so sick. So it's because the bacteria have repopulated so quickly that your body couldn't fight them off fast enough. But eventually your body catches up, and hopefully you heal from those things. So what you're going to do in the lab is you're going to model the growth of bacteria reproducing using binary fission. And what bacterial cells do is they reproduce by dividing into 2. And some of them can divide once every 20 minutes. Ooh, can you imagine that? Dividing once every 20 minutes? So you're going to start with 2 bacteria, and that makes generation 1. And it makes generation 1 4 bacteria. Okay? There are how many bacteria you will find out in generation 8, which is possible in 160 minutes, which is like, right, like 2.5 hours about. So in 2.5 hours, how many bacteria can be generated if they reproduce using binary fission in 8 generations, right? So generation 1, we said you start with, so generation 1 is 4 bacteria, okay? And then you're going to double that in half. Generation 2, you'll get 8 bacteria. Generation 3, you get, okay, so there's going to be a pattern that you'll notice, so you might not have to continue doing it, manipulating your paper or rice or whatever it is you're using for bacteria that can divide in half. But I would highly recommend you continue to use the paper or the rice or beans or something small that you can manipulate, and because this generation 8 is impressive. So on the bottom of notebook page 95, I want you to explain why it's important to be able to control the rate at which bacteria can reproduce. Now right now you're probably like, oh, there's bacteria in my body, like, ew. Yeah, there is, like tons of it, trillions of them right now on your hands and your elbows and in your mouth. There's more bacteria in your mouth than there is the population of humans in the entire world. Gross! But awesome. Okay, last notebook page today. I can recognize bacteria are essential for human health. Literally, if we didn't have bacteria, humans would like be dead. So, probiotics. Say it with me. Probiotics. You may have heard of this. Probiotics, they're professionals at keeping you healthy. So they're a live bacteria or microorganism introduced to the body for beneficial qualities, right? So there's good bacteria and there's bad bacteria. Probiotics are the ones you are all about. They are all about you. They're pro-you, probiotics. And so not only did I just kill all the bad bacteria on my hand, but I probably also killed a lot of the good bacteria on my hand. And what's super important is that the bacteria on my hand that are good, I need those to fight off the bacteria that are bad and to take up space that the bad bacteria won't be able to breed in, right? I want the good bacteria to breed, make more. So bacteria can be found in the human body. Oh my gosh, wait till you see some of these videos. List 5 places that bacteria can be found in the body and what they do to keep you healthy. You'll be like, wow, that's super cool, or ew, that's super gross, but also super cool. There are many ways good bacteria help humans survive. So I want you to explain why we need good bacteria and what might happen if we don't have enough of them in or on our body. Wait till you listen and find out about your skin. Woohoo! Microorganisms in our body, such an exciting place. Don't worry, most of them are good. That's why you're healthy, right? So keep being healthy.